So we are on the Isle of Lewis, just outside of, no, Isle of Harris. It's like one island but divided in the middle. Just outside of Torbert. It's really beautiful here and quiet, and I'm alone. Waking up outside every morning and going to sleep outside every night. There's just nothing quite like it. Finally got the tent set up. I saw a curlew today for the first time. It was on the beach. And some other birds, big white birds with black wingtips diving into the sea. And I've traveled by car from South Uist to Isle of Harris with Rob, who I met at KLS, and some family friends of his, Jimbo and Teresa. It's been really, really kind of them to let me tag along, and we've stopped at several different places and done some sightseeing today. One was like a 700-year-old church. Really, really incredible week. Met so many amazing people, and gosh, so many things, just so many things. It's good. I'm happy. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. Grapefruit. Quick status update. I'm in Stornoway on the Isle of Lewis, which is in the north of the Outer Hebrides in Scotland. I've been staying at Heb Hostel, which is this lovely, lovely hostel, family owned and run, and it has very strong cooperative housing vibes. So I was in Dahlberg on South Uist for a week at KLS summer school, and that is the correct pronunciation, KLS. And I was taking beginner's Gaelic courses from Catriona Black and Gaelic singing courses from Mairi Macmillan, I think is her last name. It's really windy up in Stornoway. As wonderful as the school was, they did not have like any COVID protocol. And after the fact, most of the people so far that I befriended while there have come down with COVID. And I myself am feeling pretty unwell. I'm getting tested right after I eat this grapefruit. And I'm really hoping I don't have it, because I literally just had it 3 weeks ago. I really thought I couldn't get it. And now I really think I probably do have it again. Milder than last time, but still. And I'm leaving the hostel. A, because they don't have any rooms available for tonight, or beds available for tonight, and B, because I don't want to, just in case, you know, if if I do test positive, I don't want to be exposing anyone. I really hope I don't, because the reason that I'm in Stornoway is to volunteer at Hebkelt Festival, which is this trad music festival. And because I'm volunteering, I can attend most events for free. Leaving on Saturday, and that I should be fine with, because if I have got it, Friday will be day 5, so Saturday should be fine. I won't be contagious anymore. We've acquired a couple of COVID tests. I am now walking to the campsite, which is almost a mile and a half out of town, with my big pack on in the wind, feeling like total crap. I'm not having the best time right now, but stamina is starting to kick in. Let's see if I can make it there. Once I get there, I'm just gonna set up, take a test, and probably just rest, because I do not feel good. We did it. I put on a Talking Heads mix and I marched the rest of the mile here. Checked in. They have bathrooms and a shower and laundry. And then I set up my tent out here in the very windy field as opposed to the sheltered one, because this is where the young people are going to be. And if I do have COVID, I think it's more socially responsible to be in this field where there's more wind for ventilation and less people who might be in a vulnerable population. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh my god. I'm gonna set up the air mattress, which is gonna take a lot of lung strength. And I'm gonna sleep. Oh my goodness. I could cry. I could just break down right now. We made it. We're here. So far, so good. I tested negative. Not sure how to feel about that. If it was COVID, at least I would know what it was, what the threat to my safety was, how long it would last, and how long I'd be contagious for. With this, I have no idea what I have beyond it's like a sinus infection. Just trying to stay warm. It's pretty windy in the tent, so I'm bummed about that. It means that I have to layer up a lot more. It also means that the tent could blow away if I'm not in it. Natural antibiotic. Hello. Good morning. Do I look like I've been sick, alone, living in a tent? Because I am. Still feeling not good. Sleeping was really rough. I just kept like waking up all throughout the night, like every hour. I don't think I got a full 2 hours rest in one go. The hardest thing, besides feeling like crap, has just been like the fact that I'm alone. Physically alone. So many people have been really kind and reached out and been like, hey, how are you doing? Are you feeling okay? And can we get you anything? Like other volunteers from the festival and friends that I've been messaging with. And so not like alone, but I am alone in my tent. And really grateful for the privacy, but at the same time, like, if my phone battery goes out, I just, it's not good. Not good. Not good to, like, be cut off from the world while you're sick. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna eat my grapefruit now. A few more days passed of being sick in the tent. It's currently 8 days since then, and I am still not totally better. But I did start to experience less intense symptoms. Everyone is so kind. Kindness is like the baseline social reality here, at least in the islands. And it's kind of confusing for me as an American. Like the opposite of this, people just blatantly ignoring your existence, was really confusing for me as a 19-year-old in my own country. But having lived that way for the past 5 years, this is really confusing. Like people saying hi and just being kind, and like people just aren't rude to each other. If you express yourself in a rude way, even if it's not towards the person or for the reason that you're feeling this need to be rude, it's like a really bad thing. Everyone's just so kind. It's great. It's great. I hope we'll get used to it. I have just walked for food. You can still hear my voice is all wacky from being sick. Feeling overall a lot better than I was. Slept all day today. It's not been very fun being sick alone in a tent, wanting to call my grandmother and others and not being able to. And I felt really isolated and desperate and extremely lonely. I think I'm learning like there's a balance for me between needing to be alone. I think there's a line between being alone and being lonely, and I'm discovering what that is. Definitely when I'm sick, I prefer to not be completely by myself. But we're on the mend. I think at this rate I will definitely be well enough for volunteering on the 15th. Really hoping I'll get to see Julie Fowlis. Really hoping.
We're going to try something else slower for you now. And this is a song from the other world, of the other world. And it's a song called Ugul Likrach ik am with me. But oh love, please let me home to my mother. And in the song, a young girl gets stolen away by the water horse, the Echushke. And I'm sure it has a happy ending.
finally rude to me. I feel right at home now. This was the lovely bus ride from Ullapool to Inverness on the morning of the 16th, after catching the ferry, after staying up all night, after volunteering 2 shifts that had felt back to back, after tearing down my tent because I didn't want to walk a mile back to the campsite and then tear down at 4 a.m. to walk a mile back to catch the ferry. So I just stayed up all night, hung out with my friend Rob. Then public transit in Scotland is absolutely amazing. I would never have been able to take 3 different forms of transit in a day and end up where I needed to go on time if I were back in the States. But the ferry, the bus, the train were all on time. Met with Fiona Driver in Inverness for lunch, who was absolutely lovely, and I can't wait to see you again if you're watching this. And then slept on the train from Inverness to Glasgow, and then again from Glasgow to Ardrossan, where I was meant to be boarding a sailboat, but that did not happen. I threw up for a really long time last night. And I thought that it would have cleared the whatever infection I have, but it didn't. I woke up coughing. I'm so tired. I feel like I haven't properly rested in 2 weeks. I want to go home, but I don't have a home anymore. And why do I want to go home? I guess home was a place where I could ignore things that were wrong with me a lot of the time. And can't do that now. My body's just really upset with me right now because I've been making a lot of choices that, are like good and growthful, but that mean that my body has to move a lot between different landscapes and be strong and trust new people. And I'm meant to be on a boat starting today for a week. I don't really know what to do. I paid a lot of money to go on this trip. I'm scared of my body having a really hard time with it. So I don't know what to do. Hello. So, life has not gone to plan. Here's what happened. I filmed a whole walking explanation earlier, but it's too long, too detailed. So, suffice it to say, I've been sick. I did not get the rest that I needed, obviously, while I was camping in Stornoway, because I was in a tent, and there were a lot of exterior factors that got in the way of me sleeping properly and healing up properly. And then I really shouldn't have gone out and continued to do things and continued to travel while not being completely recovered. I didn't think I had a choice, but you always do. I thought I could push my body and that I would just have to snap up and quickly recover because I couldn't sit in the tent anymore. But I probably shouldn't have done that. Long story short, after a day of transit, after a night of no sleep, after a day and night of volunteering at Hebkelt, which was a great experience, even though I was not feeling well. Made some new friends, which was great, and got to see Julie Fowlis. I finally made it to Ardrosin, but then, as you saw earlier, ended up getting sick in a different way. I threw up for 3 hours straight. Luckily, I was with really kind people who stuck with me and helped me organize getting to the doctor. So I went to the doctor the next day, which was a whole adventure. I got lost. That was the last straw for me. Broke down crying. I ended up being questioned by some psychiatric nurses, which was really interesting, but they ended up being convinced in the end that I was in my right mind, and ended up coming back to Glasgow to Safe Stay Hostel, where I have these lovely curtains which offer so much privacy, and I'm pretty sure I might have the room to myself tonight, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's been a time. I am starting to feel a bit better. The past couple of days, really good decision to come back to the hostel. It wasn't really my choice. I was kind of in denial about needing rest, and the organizers of the sailing trip that I was meant to go on were like, no, you can't come, you need to go rest. So if they hadn't have said that, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Good thing though, symptoms worsened pretty much immediately after being at the hospital, and so I'm really grateful that other people in my life were responsible enough for me to have to be for myself in that way, and I've been getting some good rest here. I can actually sleep here, and I'm feeling a lot better than I had been. Yeah, tonight's my last night at the hostel. I'm maybe meant to be going to visit my friend Rasheen tomorrow, and yeah. Trying to sort out, well, I don't know what else anyone wants to know. Yeah, anyway, it's been an adventure. Oh yeah, I also wanted to say, like, I think this video has been pretty heavily, Ayla's an American who's having a very hard time in Scotland. And I want to acknowledge that and just lean into, yes, that has been my experience this week. But not because of Scotland. Scotland's amazing. Everyone has been amazing. Their infrastructure, whether it's transportation or medical or housing, has been absolutely amazing, and I'm really grateful to be here, and I'm really loving being here. However, I've been sick, and I think for me anyway, being sick alone in another country is really hard. Especially if you're someone who relies on comfort when they're sick, and for me, I find comfort in familiarity, and which is why it was great to come back to this hostel, but generally lacking the familiarity of being in my hometown, surrounded by my community of the past 5 years, and surrounded by the environment that is most familiar to me, has been really hard this week. I wouldn't call it homesickness so much as just this wanting to be home while I'm sick and not being able to be. And in that sense, I think there was a lot of comparing Scotland to the US in this video, and I just wanted to acknowledge that is where it's coming from. And is not a critique on Scotland or Scottish culture or Scottish people in any way. I'm really grateful for every kindness that I've been shown this week,
as humbling as it has been for me to have to receive those kindnesses. What a learning experience. Yeah. Okay. I have no idea what this upcoming week is going to look like, so I guess we'll find out together. Bye.